did you tell Hawkeye about the dick we found?
Wait, what?
I am not even kidding. You've got to tell him. You've got to tell him.
I'd forgotten about that. Oh, that was horrible.
Probably a defense mechanism.
Okay, so in case you missed it, I had to suddenly move apartments because I live in public housing, and my mother's apartment was built for 3, not 1, so I had to move. And Hushicho was very kind and came down and brought some boxes and stuff to help me, pack away a few things and take them to my place. And I was cleaning off my mother's bed because she, aside from me, she was also a bibliophile and had a whole bunch of books that I was taking out of her room. And I started to clean off the dresser, and sure enough, there was something that was kind of brass colored, shaped like a dick with veins bulging on it.
Yeah, there was this small brass dick just sort of sitting there happily.
It's just hanging out, like, what up?
Yeah, as innocuous and as I guess just meshing with its environment as a brass dick can be.
So I was like kind of what? I was sort of like, what in the world? I'm like, that is not what I think that is. And Hushicho, he came over to look, and I'm like, okay, not to say my mother didn't do anything while she was by herself, but I know that's not hers. Because Mom didn't buy things like that. Ever. I'm like, I know that's not Mom's. And if she did have something like that, that would be well hidden. That wouldn't just be hanging out on the dresser where anybody could see it.
And you picked it up, and we thought it was a lighter.
I thought it was a funny lighter, like a novelty present, like a joke thing that you'd give somebody. I thought it was a lighter.
And you touched a button and it started to vibrate.
And I quickly turned it off and threw it down. And I'm like, you know what? I should go wash my hands. And we both were like laughing nervously because we didn't really know what to do. So I just like hurried and put it in the dresser drawer. And I'm like, I don't know where it's been or who it's been in. I'm going to wash my hands. And I talked to my brother later that day, and I'm like, Kelvin, I found your nasty thing. And I put it in the drawer there on the other side of the drawer. And he's like, my nasty thing? I'm like, you know what I'm talking about, because I know that's not Mom's. And he got it. He's like, they gave it to me as a joke present. And I'm like, well. And so then that led to somehow an awkward conversation where I mentioned, or I think he mentioned something about, he's like, I don't need stuff like that to put up my butt because I don't put anything up my butt. And I'm like, and then somehow I just casually mentioned that, I mean, it was a real awkward conversation. And I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to drop this. But I didn't, I'm like, well, some straight men like getting their girlfriend to play with them in their butt when they're getting head or something.
Yeah, prostate's...
I mean, like, he could talk to gay people, but when it comes to himself, he's not gay. What are you talking about?
It was so funny, though, because we were like, we were looking at that, and you were saying, it's not mine. And I know it's not mine.
Man, well, it's
and I was
not.
Like, I didn't think it was yours. I knew it's not yours.
Because we had the bad dragon talk, so...
Yes, that was so funny. That is seriously one of my favorite moments in these videos. Not the talk that we had, but the way you edited it out. I bought out Bad Dragon for you. Cut.
Let's do the time warp again. I would have put the song in, but I figured I'd be flagged for copyright.
I wish somebody cared enough to buy out Bad Dragon for me. Maybe one of these days.